want to give a big yashir koyach for the Rosh Kollel for making the effort to come out today to mechazik the olam, give chizik in this very important inyan of being befarnes zebezu. Baruch Hashem, our city is zeicha to have one of Gedolei HaPoskim, Gedolei Adar amongst us, Rav Shlomo Miller, who leads us and guides us, Baruchnius to Begashmius, and it's a big, big kavod that he is able to come today and to answer some of common day Shailos in business. So we have a list of pre-submitted questions, and we hope the Rosh Kollel could answer the questions. So the first question is...
First I want to give a bracha to all the people here. It's very inspiring seeing people coming together to hear what's Dr. Torah, what's the Geschäft, what's the Torah speak about our business. You know, he's saying in the Welt that they mind your own business. But you has my enemy's business, you help the enemy's business. That's why everyone's here for not to mind their own business, but to help the enemy's business. She matzliach, everyone should matzliach, atzlacha, do everything with the Torah wants how we should do the business.
So we should not mind our own business.
What?
We should not mind our own business.
That's right, you should not mind your own business.
Okay, someone asked, I'm a real estate lawyer and I represent many firm clients from the community. Many times I noticed in a joint venture or loan documents that there are some real potential ribis or other halachic issues. I know that some of my clients would not appreciate if I would bring this to their attention. Am I allowed to service them or represent them on these transactions, or is it lifnei iver to do so?
A lot of details, a lot of pratim. And really what you need, each specific case needs advice on that specific case, how it is. There's certain kula in lifnei iver. There's one kula in lifnei iver. Lifnei iver is causing the end to avera, but the lifnei is mutter. If I call it a lifnei is mutter and lifnei. There's also certain kula by sveikis. If it's a suffix, it causes avera. There are certain kulas in lifnei iver. You have to know each specific case. So it's hard to tell general rules when you have to know each case. It's like you go to a lawyer to make a contract for your business deal. He has to see your business, what you're doing. You can't just tell him a general contract for every business deal.
So Rosh Kollel is saying that the question is very nuanced because many different factors could in each deal is different, and many times they've had to lift lifnei, which means it's not a direct cause, it's an indirect cause, and sometimes it's mutter. You have to, but on practical level, a lawyer who's drafting 20 documents a day, he can't ask every document a rav if this is a shayla from the Israel. He should become familiar with those halachas. Like, what should he, on a practical level, what should he do?
He draws up the contract.
He draws the contracts, right?
He draws up the contract, and that's the shayla with the Yisrachal. They signed it.
They're signing it.
They signed it, like the Yidden signing it.
Right.
You have to see that contract. It's hard to. It's more
specific. Each case.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lawyer has to become a Talmud Chacham.
That's right.
That's right.
Or you should hire a Talmud Chacham as staff. You know.
Rosh Kollel is not available, is it?
I'm past that stage in life.
Okay, next question. I've been employed for many years by one of the frum businesses in the community. As my family has grown and I need to bring an additional income to support my family, I would like to go out and start my company offering the same services as my employer does. I do not have a non-compete agreement with my employer that would restrict me from doing so. Is it permissible halachically or hashkafically to do so?
That's certainly, you can't. You learn that this person has customers, now I'll go to take away his customers, that you can't do. And has customers, you can't go and take someone else's customers away. You can just be mudia, generally I'm available to do these things, you get good deals with me, but you know there's a certain customer that your friend has, you can't take away his customers. That's Then it's a take away his business. You can't take away someone else's business. We'll give a brought to both. You should make it, he should make it.
Sometimes the employer, so Rosh is saying that he shouldn't...
you can't take away a customer.
You shouldn't target the customer to come to him, but you
can
can
give
advertise in general.
Huh?
In general, you can advertise in the local papers saying that he's available to do the same service that he was trained. I'm saying many times from employers, they feel slighted. They trained a guy for 10 years and they taught him the whole business, all the ins and outs. Yeah. Without him, he wouldn't know anything.
Yeah.
And then the second he thinks he could do it himself, he leaves them. If people feel that they were taken advantage of.
He learned, because the other supported you to learn this thing, you can't take away his geschäft. Now that means like this. If you open up a business, the new customers will get, it had nothing to do with him. He didn't have these customers.
Yeah, but Rosh is saying that even if let's say some of his old customers want to come by themselves, they could, right?
Yeah.
And even though he taught them the ropes, he taught them the business.
Yeah, but if they come to themselves, he can't. There's no ifs or when they come to themselves. He can't go after them.
Can't go after them. But even though the employer could have a taina, but the employee may open a business that could directly compete with his.
He has a taina. He should make the non-compete condition.
Rosh is saying it'd be smart if that's the way. If your teva of the employer is he doesn't want it to happen, before he hires him, you should make sure there's a non-compete.
Yeah.
To protect. A non-compete halachically is holds water.
Let's put it this way. Probably yes.
Probably yes.
Non-compete.
Okay.
I taught you these things. I'm not sure you shouldn't use this information.
Okay. Next question. Recently, I was in New York for business. And between meetings, this actually happened with me. It's a true story. And between meetings, I went to catch a mini mincha in one of the local shtibels. I was in the middle of Shemoneh Esrei, and I noticed a big sign on the wall stating that it is absolutely forbidden to enter the shul building with a smartphone, even if the smartphone is turned off. I had a smartphone in my pocket at the time. What is the right thing to do? Do I walk out of the middle of Shemoneh Esrei?
Two things. First of all, you read signs in the middle of Shemoneh Esrei.
So Shulchan Aruch says that if a person needs to have kavanah in davening, he should pick up his eyes up to the ceiling. Understand Shulchan Aruch? Then I noticed on the way up. I noticed the sign.
Anyway, it's like this. The Shemoneh Esrei should not walk out. That's the thing. You can't come into the thing. Once you're there, you can finish Shemoneh Esrei. It's also b'mitzvah. You can finish Shemoneh Esrei, and then right away would go out.
So right away, shouldn't he wait for kedusha? Nothing. Second you finish Shemoneh Esrei, you have to leave the building.
Yeah.
You can't stay in the building.
I mean, you can go outside and then put the thing somewhere else. It's so much harder for you.
You can't stay there. And even if you see the sign before you walk into the building and they don't let you daven b'yechidus outside.
Yeah.
Really?
They don't let you have no to go into the building.
Even though my phone's off, it's not doing anything.
Yeah, but there's certain conditions. Knesset in this building has certain conditions.
So they could say that if we didn't let anyone with the green hat to walk into the building?
It's their building, do what they want. So you change your green hat for a black hat.
A shul is a difference if it's a private shul or if it's a public shul. Let's say it's a public shul. It's a community shul.
If it's a public shul, then they have the right to make certain conditions. Some because someone who made the condition. So if it's a private shul, we're talking about private shul. Private shul can make conditions.
But a public community shul has to sign. Could be you don't have to listen. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you should listen. If you finish Shemoneh Esrei, you finish Shemoneh Esrei.
Okay. Next question. In our office, we have many frum men working, and some are makpid to never shake another woman's hand under any circumstance. And others in the office are lenient to do so. This lends to an awkward situation when a woman comes in for a meeting, and some of the men shake her hand and others don't. What is the right way to respond if a woman offers you a handshake, and how is the best way to navigate the above scenario?
You have Shem Schwab, he was on the Rav, he used to tell over the story, right? He asked him Chaim Moiser Grodensky, got a door, about a woman sticks out her hand to shake hands, if he's allowed to shake hands. He was a bacher then. So Chaim Moiser told him first of all, he said, what's the explanation of Shver Shailos? He asked me, something like that, but it's too difficult a question for me to answer. It's a very difficult question, I think, Shver Shailos. No, but he said, one thing I'll tell you, he said that the German Rabbanan, I think it was Hildesheimer, if a woman took her hand, they shook her hand, and then tzaddikim shouldn't think, he didn't want the Talmud to think that he's from within his Rebbe. It's no good if Talmud is from within his Rebbe. If he is a big tzaddik, that goof is a Russia. So, but it's a very difficult question. There is a tzaddik, there is a tzaddik dog, that's why some people do it. The tzaddik dog, you're not kavanah for any hanoah, but it's a certain eager shah, because the Rambam Shlomo Sikra was not zafka hanoah saguf, it's hanoah any chibur. So it's a difficult question, and Rabbi Chaim Moiser didn't want to answer it, so I'm not going to answer if Chaim Moiser didn't answer it.
So Shailos saying that if a person's, is it a good thing to be makbid?
Well, it is good to be makbid, but you can explain.
Shailos saying that we're good dialim was real Hildesheimer, right?
I think.
Shailos thinks that he himself did it. It's a Shver Shailos. Rav Chaim Moiser don't answer the Shailos, so Shailos doesn't answer the Shailos. And so what do you do in the case where some are and some aren't? It makes everyone feel so like on the practical level. Say he can't.
His rabbi says one way, his rabbi says another way. So he follows his rabbi, I follow my rabbi. That's all he can do.
But this rabbi doesn't want to answer.
So then you say that my rabbi doesn't permit it. He's not answering yes.
Okay. Next
the way of getting out of it, the person wears latex gloves or something like that. That's the eitzah.
Gloves is better.
Yeah. He wears a latex glove with his hand, so then that's okay. So he...
I said the Chazon Ish said it's Yehar Vel Yavar, they said.
I don't believe so. The question is, I can't give that right, but I told you the story from Chaim Moiser. That's what he said. There's some German rabbi that did it, so it's nothing not to do it. But you wear a glove, a latex glove.
And today everyone wears gloves anyway, gloves, masks.
Yeah, right. If you wear a mask and wear gloves.
Okay. Next question. I refinanced a property that was able to take out more capital than when it was originally invested in the property. Am I required to give meiser on the capital amount that was taken out above the amount invested?
See, meiser, required meiser, the word required, you have to say also, it's not a chiv, it's a mitzvah. Meiser is a mitzvah. It's not like it's a chiv, it's not like it's a plans of Yoyin Purim is a chiv. Very important. Meiser is a mitzvah. Now, it's certainly a mitzvah to you already have the money, it's a mitzvah to give meiser. Not only that, he once told me, Moshe Reichman, he told me that just like if you can borrow money for investments, you can borrow money to give meiser also. If you don't have the cash, you borrow money and you give meiser. It's a mitzvah. I don't the word chiyuv on it, but certainly the mitzvah is whenever possible, give meiser, to give it right away.
So Shailos saying that meiser is not a chiyuv, it's only a mitzvah. Even if you give meiser once, it doesn't turn into a chiyuv. Some say
if you're makabel to give seder.
If you're makabel to give, it becomes a chiyuv, no?
Yeah, it couldn't be. They can say neder, and then it's not neder. It's not neder because you were moisem door. Shouldn't be the door ever shana anyway. So that's okay.
And the moisem door on ever shana helps for.
That should be a chiyuv. So as long as you intend it, no state in true in Yosef Chaim, Yosef.
Salmas Chaim.
Salmas Chaim. Some say Salmas Chaim. That anytime all these kinds of mitzvahs, but once you're moist meidah and you never meant to turn neder when you made it, if you make it meant to mean the neder, it's you call neder. But you just stopped the mitzvah, you intend to do it, but you're moist meidah mitzchila, it shouldn't be a neder, you never intend to be a neder, so it doesn't become a neder.
So Shailos is saying that Meiser is not an absolute chiyuv.
It's important to make moist meidah, Rosh Hashanah to moist meidah, that any mitzvah you do should have...
Or on Haggah.
On Haggah Taiva should not be a neder. Because it comes to the big problem with the army afterwards.
Right. Shailos is saying that even though Meiser, in Halacha, Meiser is not a chiyuv, it's only a mitzvah. But if a person's makabel a mitzvah on himself, then it turns into a chiyuv. So the solution is, if you don't want that to happen, is when you say a Taras Nadarim and Erev Rosh Hashanah, should be Meiser Meidah, then any action or
saying this is what you should mean.
You should have in mind intent that if you action that you do, any mice or anything that you say shouldn't turn into a neder, so that it shouldn't be a problem that it's a chiyuv. But the question over here really is that when you refinance, it's not profit earned. It's really it's a loan. You just lent money, you borrowed money.
The profit is in the house, the building. The building went up in value, so you have profit.
Right.
If all your buildings go up, right? You can borrow money. You never have to sell the buildings.
Right,
Some businessmen never sell; they just keep on buying. You become multi-millionaires, because the value of all their assets went up. So you have.
So it's called an exit. So refinancing is called an exit.
It's like.
So let's say if a person, let's say he took out $100,000, so he'll give that to Meiser on the $100,000, on $10,000, but he's being charged interest on the amount he's giving Meiser. Can you take that off? Right? You're refinancing, so you're paying interest on it. Can you deduct the interest that you're paying on the Meiser money from your Meiser?
That's too expensive.
It costs you money to take out the money.
Yeah, but you paid the money to get out, so you didn't Meiser. Now it's like every expense in business. That's not a deduct the expense.
It's a regular expense. You don't deduct from
it. No, it's a regular expense.
Okay. Okay, next question. Baruch Hashem, a person asks, this is not me. I, Baruch Hashem, was successful in business early on in my career and have more than enough to live on very comfortably. I'm in a dilemma. Do I now close up shop and go back to Kollel to learn full time? Or should I continue my business ventures so that I can continue to give more tzedakah and support Torah?
It's like a personal shot which you do. And sometimes each person is sent in this world to accomplish certain specific things. Everyone must be called a Torah, to support her. Everyone has his shlichus to do in this world. If you have certain abilities, that's part of your shlichus. Why are you giving these abilities? You're going to get, right? So that's part of your shlichus. If you have ability to do it, right? You mazakas harabim, help people, so you can make money, help other people make money. That's a gewaltige mitzvah. Mazakas harabim. So depends each individual. Some person can take learning, we must save very much on learning. You should go learn. The state in I'm sorry, the Gemara says that a father can either make business support himself and let the son learn, or support the son that the father learn. What should he do? He should send his brother and he should support him, or he'll go to yeshiva, let the son support himself. So, Shein the Poskim, who's matzliach more in business? So if the son's more matzliach in business, let the son do the business, and you sit and learn. If the father's more matzliach in business, let the father do the business. Because he has a mitzvah help his son to learn also.
You're saying it's a very individual question. He should first just speak it over with his Rav. Some people were not cut out to sit and learn full time. It's not the shlichus in life. That's what Shailos is saying.
Yeah.
They say if the Moshe Reichman, Rav Shach told Rav Moshe Reichman that his shlichus is to stay in business and make money and support yeshivas.
Could be. I didn't hear from him, so it could be.
But it's possible to be true. Okay. Next question. Right before
he can lose his money now times in bunch. Accept it. That's you're also shlichus in life.
Just like shlichus in life is, even when things aren't going good, you lose all your money, you should realize it's also from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, next question. Right before Shabbos, on my way out to shul, I opened a letter from the CRA that I received that day. The letter was very disturbing, as it claimed that I owed a very large tax liability on a property that I own. This letter was very distressing for me and was ruining my Einik Shabbos in a big way, especially since I think I was being wrongly assessed. In shul, I noticed my good friend, the tax lawyer, in attendance. May I ask my friend, the tax lawyer, to come to my house on Shabbos to review the CRA letter to possibly relieve me of my anguish?
Maybe make more anguish. You can tell him to come right after Shabbos or something, but not to do it on Shabbos.
Can't say on Shabbos?
Shabbos, not ice getting Shabbos. The Maisa, what happened?
Yeah, the story happened. No, the story happened. This is a true story. This child was this past Shabbos, and I was talking. He didn't show it to him on Shabbos, and it was a mistake.
It was a mistake?
It was a mistake.
Why?
I don't know the details, but it was a mistake.
How about if I can?
No, it was better for him. It was better for him. It wasn't. He didn't owe the money.
Yeah, it was better for him. It wasn't a mistake.
Yeah,
it was better for him.
The CRA made a mistake.
The CRA made a mistake. Not he made a mistake.
Yeah.
Right, that's right, because he kept Shabbos. That's the Musasl story is that if you keep Shabbos, the CRA will make a mistake for the
letter was printed already. It's a tefillah shav, no?
Tefillah shav.
And the Magen Ram says that if, based on the Shulchan Aruch, that if the children enjoy jumping, so there's no isser of kfitza, there's no isser of davar davar, and haluchach shel chayil, because they enjoy themselves.
If you enjoy going through your business things, that doesn't happen. I see how much money you have.
Someone enjoys talking business on Shabbos, but not relevant. It just enjoys talking.
It's not even tell the story what happened that I did 2 years ago. It's not negated out there.
You can talk about interest rates and things that are happening in the business world, not directly connected now.
Now is something which happened last year. You have to do
last year.
Not negate anything.
But it's better to learn.
Yeah. You learn how not to worry about the interest rates. Years of life with worrying about the interest rates, this can happen.
Because it doesn't help to worry about interest rates. Okay. In our office, we have many from women working as secretaries. Is it permissible to address them by their first names?
The right way to do it, if everyone's calling on a first name basis, that's how the office, everyone's on a first name basis, so it's very difficult. But the agency should have a business name. And whatever her name really is, Rifki, okay? And for business, she calls herself a different name. Right.
So it creates a
she knows it's not the personal contact. She'll call it
So she's saying in Eitzah it's very difficult in the office where everyone's first name basis not to call them by the name. So the Eitzah is, if her name is Malka, you call her Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So that's right.
She used to be Malka. She was once Malka.
Right. Elizabeth wasn't Malka. So that creates it's not so personal. It makes it less personal.
Right.
And it makes a difference if it's Goyim or Yidden. What are you gonna? If her name is Elizabeth, what are you gonna call her?
If what?
If she's a guy, she's a guy. We're gonna.
A goyte is not some of the.
Goyte is not so chama.
You don't have. It's not a kivadas.
Liba gaspa is not so strong by a goyte.
Yeah, goyte. So when you have a thing, for Shabbos,
so we should all go back to the office and tell our secretaries we changed their first names. Okay. We have many non-from employees in our office. During Pesach Chalamoid, they come into the office bringing their chametz sandwiches for lunch. Must I stop them from doing so?
That's a very difficult thing, because many shittas poskim going out to that you're only chayiv on your own chametz, you're not chayiv on a goy's chametz in your shoes. But another yid's chametz, another yid leaves chametz in your shoes, you're also chayiv. Right? And that's called the chod. The chod is the mudah shel nachri, but not the mudah another Yisrael. So he's a Fry Yid, and he leaves his chametz in your rishus. A very big problem with these rishus by him.
Pass like that?
Many persons. That's many persons like that. Mishmur is a suffix.
It's a deacon Rashi.
Yeah, we got to the Shailos. So the Shailos, what do you do to avoid the problem? So you have, it can be a problem. It's a very complex problem. Most people know about Halacha Shailos, but this thing, someone else, let's say, right? You have
could you be mafkir that
you have apartment buildings, rent out things. So with rent out could be it's his issue, not yours. But
the office is not like that.
Office, you have an office in the office. You can leave the chametz in the office. So you strong your rishus. So when you make, I say the eighth is when you make the chametz with the rav of our Pesach, you should sell all the places that Yidden bring a chametz. So if anywhere a place that Yid, Fry brings a chametz, it's not mine.
Is it in the current star there? Yeah. Wow. Rosh Shailos is saying as well. Rosh Shailos is saying that according to most shittas,
many shittas.
I'm saying the other way. According to many shittas, pashtus is that you only over bal yirah if you have a chrayis in the chametz. If you have a chrayis, if a person takes a chrayis in the chametz. So even if it's a Yid's chametz, you have no achrayis, according to many shittas, you're not chayiv. However, Shailos is saying that the Gayin, the Gra, and the Tzlach, and many other achrayim say that that's only by a Guy's chametz that you putter if it's that achrayis. But a Yid's chametz, even without achrayis, that's bereshusai, you'll still be over bal yirah, and therefore it's a very big problem to have a from worker, a non-from worker, bring in chametz into your office on Pesach in an apartment building. Rosh Shailos is saying it's not such a big problem because it could be since he's renting it, so it's his the chutzner is his kinyan, it's not your kinyan. But in the office, it's complicated. So you're fine, not for today. But but the discussing an eitzah. The eitzah is if a person has an office where he knows he has fryer workers who potentially bring chametz into the office. Is when you do mechiras chametz, is to tell the Rav. Erev Pesach. So you should tell the Rav that that you're selling all the places where the non-from employees are going to bring their chametz or keep their chametz, or their offices. You can sell the whole offices, really. You can sell they have their own private offices. You can sell their offices, no?
Even not private office.
Their desk. You can sell their desk.
In public,
anywhere, it's like Brera.
Any place that they're using.
But it's in the future.
We can sell.
Sell Brera?
Yeah, you can sell wherever it is.
Any place where they're going to bring chametz, those places are going to be sold to the guy. Okay? Okay, next question. I quoted a job from multiple vendors. One of the vendors who bid for the job was a from company, but their quote came in pricier than the others. Am I required to hire the from company, and at what cost?
If it's a davar mu'at, small amount difference, you should do a business from the person, even though it costs a little bit more. That's the rights of the mashal. If you have an available, the behemoth dies. So then the baby can't eat it. So what do you do with it? You can either give it to a caleb or sell it to a guy. So, Mishmur is mashma, if it's a hefsem ruba, you can use it yourself. You don't have to have a hefsem. But if it's a hefsem mu'ad, you'd rather give it to a ger toishav, even koshkan yid, give it away to a ger toishav, to a goy even, as a ger toishav, keeps saying mitzvahs. You give it to him and have it, and even you get a small loss. So it's a small loss you have to absorb. It's a mitzvah to absorb. It's a big loss. You're not mechuyev to take.
What's called small?
What's called small? What's called big? That is a relative shayla. It's a high theory of relativity. No, it's relative. What's called small? What's called big? Yeah, it depends what the matzah of each person.
Depends on each person's financial.
Yeah, they say the Shiva Bankotner said once, we're talking about years ago, it's 70 years ago in Lakewood, he says the hefsem of an egg for the Shiva of Rupa.
One egg.
One egg. You have to butcher every egg. You have to waste time to collect money to buy eggs. So it depends. It's a relative terms.
How about a meiser, from a meiser, a school, shul, for them to hire a from person over a non-from
Also, if the government more than
even a meiser should spend more money.
If that's part of the chinuch. And a school should teach us something to turn misses. Make it a little bit actually give a visit to a yid, help a visit a yid. But the double more. What's more than that? That's relative to each person's matzav.
I just want to add that I've heard this from vendors, is that even when people are a little bit higher, they prefer and they want. At least you should go back to them and tell them that I got a few quotes. This one's a little bit higher. Could you match it? Give them the opportunity instead of just knocking them away.
Yeah.
Tell them that. Be open with them and tell them that this is higher and could you match it?
Yeah.
So it's, people sometimes the stars are doing it, but I think that from people they want it. They understand. People understand.
You understand like this: if he'll help Yana Yid, so other Yid will help him. He comes back to help you. You help a different Yid, the other Yid will help you. Name shall see that.
Okay. We have a from Jewish-owned retirement home, and during the holiday season, to make the non-Jewish residents feel more comfortable, we want to set up an Xmas tree and some other holiday paraphernalia at the entrance of the home. Is it permitted?
It's very difficult problems. The only thing is you can do is if you have a guy who's taking care of the things, the thing he's supposed to take care of. You're not telling him what to do. You take care of the
Bal Malacha.
Yeah. What?
Bal Malacha. He's the
It's his
executive director of the home.
Yeah.
So he's hired to take care of everything. So it's not directly the same way he's ordering not kosher food. He's like,
right.
Shailos saying that it's a difficult shayla for you to do it, but if he has someone, a guy who's a kabbalah, right? A guy who's a kabbalah, not
an aris, like an
aris, a partner. Which anyway, usually you need one in the retirement home. So he should be the one setting it up, and you don't get involved. But the same thing, in a rental building would be a problem. If a guy just a plain rental building, a guy has apartment building. Yeah. There's no one managing. I mean, it's just an apartment building.
Yeah, but
the super could put it.
You can get a super to take care of all the instruction and all the needs.
So super's discretion, whatever you want.
Whatever you do, I'm telling what to do.
Okay. In many places in Toronto, it's prohibited to park your car in the street for more than 3 hours at a time. I mistakenly left my car out on the street over Shabbos, and I noticed that the parking enforcement put a chalk mark on my tire so that he could come back in 3 hours to see if the car hasn't been moved to the past 3 hours. May I rub off the chalk mark on Shabbos to avoid getting a parking ticket?
Good shot. The question like this: some are marked that call you not to erase a mark, but when the mark symbolizes something, it's called a mechika. So it's called mechika. It's called a mechika.
It's not a ksav of Shailos Kaim. It's not a.
It's a mechika. Yeah, it's a mechika. It's a mechika. The best thing is to either have a goy wash it off. Could be a cotton can also do it, but that's more problematic.
Shailos saying that
you can't do it on a regular basis.
What?
You might be able to have a cotton do it, but not on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, based on the Taz.
Yeah, right.
Taz.
I showed you the thing.
Yeah. The Erev. So Shailos saying that you should park your car legally next time, right?
That's right.
But that's really just a chalk mark. It shouldn't be kaisiv because it's not a letter. But Shailos saying since it's representing something significant to the parking enforcer, so it's symbolizing something. It could be that has a din of ice because it
a rishima.
As a rishima, it means something to him. It's representing something.
Yeah.
So it could be as a din of mechika. For sure, it's rabbanon because only a chalk mark. It's not meant to last. So the best thing is to try to get a guy to clean the tires, if you find a guy to that. Maybe ask the parking enforcement guy, but if you can't, Shailos says in the big need, some say that based on a Taz and Erevin that discusses if you could bring a siddur to shul, he's talking about. If you bring a siddur, have a cotton and carry for you. Huh?
It's first Israel, but it's first Israel.
Not the Taz?
He's going on the Taz, but he's
on the Taz, yeah. You can bring a siddur for tzarech mitzvah. You can have a cotton sometimes do a drabanan for you, but Shkel say you should not rely on that only not on a consistent basis, only a big tzarech. If it's your cotton, it's worse. If it's your son, it's worse. If it's your child, right? Hatu bin chubitecha. It's better if someone else's cotton?
What?
Is it better someone else's cotton?
Yes.
Yeah. So even a cotton is better if it's not your child, because by your child, some say that even on the Rabbanan, maybe there's an isser of chinuch. Okay. Well, is that a good chinuch to tell your son to wash up the tire?
It's a good chinuch. It's not a good chinuch to park your car over there.
It's not a good chinuch?
To park your car there.
Okay. As we all know, the very challenging times that our brothers and sisters are enduring right now in the current matzav in Eretz Yisrael. There are many charity campaigns to help the soldiers and the families during these challenging times. Yet the Moistis and Kailim in Eretz Yisrael, whose survival is undoubtedly are also critical for the protection of Klal Yisrael, are also struggling due to the current financial downturn, and also due to the fact that many of the previous donors are now channeling their donations towards the war effort. In times like these, where should our focus of tzedakah be channeled to?
You know, there's a nusach tefillah for a very short, you have no time to daven. You say tefillah k'tzara, you say tzarchi amcha merubim v'daitan k'tzara. There are a lot of big needs for Klal Yisrael, there are relative needs. And they themselves don't know, they themselves don't know what to do. What needs to take care of first. Right? You can't say give one and the other, everyone needs something. So there are Klal, you have to give something to everyone, that's a good need. But we can't give unless you give bracha and matzliach, noch the thing you have great success in business.
Amen.
Okay, but so therefore there are Klal. The Baruch makes each person just like their different desires. Each person wants something else. One person likes this sucker, he has this sucker. All suckers have to help. So Baruch gives each person a different ratzon. Today, everyone should get something. Now, some will get more, some will. You can't know exactly what you have a ratzon to do. Is a thing you should give more to the ones you have a ratzon, but you should give to everyone something.
I guess hashkafically, though, is it hashkafically correct to say that the koils aren't as important now and the soldiers are more important? No, a person gives X amount of money to a koil every year the past 20 years, and now it's the war, so he's going to cut down 50%.
No, shouldn't cut. If he can keep up the same thing, try and keep up the same thing, even though it's a little more difficult now. But try and keep what he's always doing, because they got to find the mitzvah of the Kabul. Then he should keep. They should help him. If he can't, has to come back a little bit. They'll come back a little bit on that, and equally to spread out the cuts all over.
Shkel saying that because Baruch Hu, just like he gave people different chunas and nefesh, that they want to have different jobs and different interests, so too in tzedakah also, because Baruch Hu gave every person a different chunas and nefesh, what talks to him most, what kind of tzedakah talks to him, and the person should follow that chunas and nefesh, but he should not.
For good tzedakahs,
for good tzedakahs, yeah.
I mean, good tzedakahs, not.
But the person shouldn't scale back for try not to scale back for previous commitments or donations have been given in the past.
A good tzedakah means when a good tzedakah. Not what the government considers a charitable contribution. Like the government, you can make a charitable contribution to Jews for Yoshka. It's charity by them. By us, it's not the Samaric word, not just.
And the Shkar says if you keep on tzedakah, you give a bracha, you'll be successful in your business, and you'll have enough to give to everyone. It's good night to come just for that.
Okay.
Okay, just a few more questions. Almost done. I have a firm employee who requested to leave the office every Erev Shabbos by Chatzos. As he says, he's very makbid not to work after Chatzos. Do I need to comply to his demand? I am especially hesitant to do so. If I allow him to do so, I will potentially have the same request from all my Jewish employees in my office.
not mechuyev to do it, but that's how he can do it. If he can help him, why not? It'll be a big hefsed for him. So he's not mechuyev to have a hefsed for Yannis Chumras.
He's not mechuyev. If it be a hefsed, he's not mechuyev to. If he could, he could. If it's be a hefsed, he's not mechuyev. Okay. May I sue or summon a non-from Jew to secular court?
All right, so there are cloud. You have to go to bed now to sue in court. But I feel that a non-from Jew, so he's saying, I do not keep Torah mitzvahs. He drives the car on Shabbos, so he doesn't keep Torah mitzvahs. Therefore, he's becheskes that he doesn't accept present. If he doesn't accept the Torah, Torah says you can't drive on Shabbos, can't smoke on Shabbos. He does it anyway. So therefore, he's becheskes. He's not listening to the Torah. He won't listen to Bezin either. The Torah doesn't listen to Shlomo is the Bezin. Therefore, he's not mechuyev to go to Bezin. You can take him to court.
So Shailos is saying that since anyway he won't listen to Bezdin, he won't listen to the Torah. Anyway, he doesn't listen to the Torah, so you let it go and summon him to a Geisha court. Shkoyach to Resh Koil for joining us, and maybe give a Divrei Chizik for the Olam.
And we give a brach to the Olam and they come to learn Torah and the Geschäft. It's a Kabbalah Ratzon that a Yid wants his business to be kosher also, not just his food should be kosher. His business should be kosher, and not big problems in business. Him shall help, we shall open my sin, not to be nichts on any averes, and we should bring a gula shleima here remain. Amen.
Amen. Shkoyach.